Okay, boys, it looks like we are live, and I'm real sorry if you're watching this right now and the audio sounds a little bit weird. I'm hoping that people are going to come out and tell me how it sounds, because I know last time we did this, we had a little bit of an echo, so if we see that problem again, it's something that I can fix, but it's going to take me just a second or two, so please understand that. And also, if you're watching this as a video later on and you weren't able to come out and participate in the live stream, I don't know what to tell you other than make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you have that notification bell hit, because if those two things are done, you should be able to get notified whenever we go live. I'm going to try to do this at the very minimum once a week, where I can dive into depth with all of your trade questions, because y'all know that for everybody that has those notifications on, I already premiere the videos every single day and hang out in that live chat every single day, still answering questions, but I can't really do it in depth. I really can't explain myself with what my thought process is. So I think that this is going to be a very useful scenario. And also, I know that there's a lot of people that literally can't make it out to these live streams, can't make it out to the premieres. Maybe they're at work, maybe they're at school, whatever it is. But if you want your trade question answered, what you can do is go down to the comment section of this video, because what I'm going to be doing is, for the video tomorrow, I'm going to be looking specifically at the comments that were left on this one, and any questions I was unable to get to, I will be trying to get to in the video tomorrow. But that's it. Of course, drop a like on the video if you have not already. Let's get into this live stream, and let's just give a quick shout out to everybody who's coming out here. So you have Ismail, Zachary, John, Harrison, Mega, Billy, Raphael, Mega again, Sterling, Zachary, Demi, Harrison, G Turno. Thank y'all all so much for coming out to the live stream so early, guys. Okay, so Zachary is saying timed to panic on Evan Fournier, and he says drop in a 10-team league. Okay, real quick, let's pull up the most recent performances that we have. So he is in COVID protocol. So the thing here is, if he's in COVID protocol, really we only have one bad game, which was that Pelicans game where, yes, it was horrible. I mean, he shot 10 field goal attempts, making a total of 0 of them. But if you also look at it, I mean, 5 of those came from beyond the arc. We understand that 3-point shooting, I mean, just going back to how Kelly Ubre at the very beginning of the season, really, I believe he was like 1 for 28 at one point from beyond the arc. We know that it's extremely streaky. He still came through with 2 steals and 2 blocks. So I'll say, yes, that was very disappointing. And if you're playing in a 10-team league, I know that you're going to have to be a little bit more shallow. And Fournier is a player that I kind of prefer in a category league, because traditionally he is someone that can provide you a nice free throw percentage as well as limit his turnovers. I guess in a points league, it's going to come down to your roster construction. If you have an IR spot that you can place COVID protocol players on, and to go along with this, if you have the depth at the position. All right, so now let's go through and find our next question. Okay, everybody's saying the audio sounds good. Okay, perfect. Mega coming in says, should I still sell Russell Westbrook? Okay, guys, y'all know at the very beginning of the season, I was saying that Russell Westbrook was someone I did not want to draft. Russell Westbrook was someone that I wanted to sell low whenever he started performing poorly. And my God, Westbrook has been unreal lately. I know the efficiency is still very bad. I mean, that's something that's never going to change with Westbrook, and that's why for category formats, I still think that it would be wise to look to sell. But if you're playing in a points league, like we said halfway through the year, no, that's where you want Westbrook, because you know the volume is going to be there. You pull up his most recent games, I mean, the assist numbers are straight up off the charts. He's averaging a triple-double currently, and his assist over the past, let me just go through them. 21 assists, 10 assists, 9, 12, 13, 13, 10, 17, 12. I mean, they're up there, and you know Westbrook is also going to be rebound hunting. You have him with 14, 19, 18, 4, 13, 15, 14. So it looks like we were wrong, and at the beginning of the season, that his lack of production can probably be explained away just due to the fact that he was dealing with those injuries. So here with Westbrook, in a category league, I'll say, because of his name value, because everybody knows the volume that he's going to be giving you across points, rebounds, assists, I think we would look to sell. Still, obviously that price is going to be a lot higher, and if you listened to me initially, I was wrong. If you sold a month ago, you got less value than you can today. But still, if you look at the efficiency marks, I think in a category league, Westbrook is still a player that's going to make you punt free throw percentage, make you punt field goal percentage, and make you punt turnovers. And I never like to have a core asset on my team making me punt 3 categories. If you're playing in a points league, it's completely different. The volume's going to be through the roof, so you can get away with it. Okay, so now Zachary coming out, and he is asking us Pascal Siakam or Kristaps Porzingis. So before I even pull up any stats on either one of these players, I want to say my initial reaction is going to be Pascal Siakam by a wide margin, because not only are these players going to be projected to see a similar amount of production over the next few games, but to go along with this, we know that Pascal Siakam is going to be playing a significantly more amount of games through the course of the season than Kristaps Porzingis. So it really comes down to the depth that you have on your team, because Porzingis should be slightly outproducing him with the games that are played. I just think that you're actually going to see more games played from Siakam. So it's close. I will give you that. I know Porzingis, another player that I didn't like coming into the year, but he's been impressive over the past few games that he has played. The question with Porzingis is how many games are you going to get played? Okay, so now let's go through, and Demi asking thoughts on Westbrook. 35, 14, 21 game last night on 54% shooting. Yeah, guys, the game last night was fantastic from Westbrook. Don't even need to go into that. We just did. And the efficiency was up, but it was one game. If we pull up Westbrook's efficiency over the past 30 days, let me look this up real quick. It's still not going to be anywhere close to what you would want it to. So even though Westbrook is someone that is great in a points format, and we've always said that ever since the beginning of the year. In a category league, I did say to sell a month ago at a lower price than he's worth now, so I have to hold that L. But at the same time, you look at his field goal, free throw, and turnover categories over the past 30 days, and even when he's been playing some of the hottest basketball of his entire career, to be honest, I mean, Westbrook is averaging 25 points, almost 11 rebounds, and 12 assists to go along with this, 2 steals. So he is a significant contributor for 4 categories in those formats, where you go on the other end and Westbrook's 45% from the field, and with a ton of volume, that's not going to help you win that category. He is 63% from the free throw line. That is just straight up punt worthy. And then he's also averaging over 5 turnovers a game over the past 30 days. So here with Westbrook, yeah, I mean, he is going to be elite in some categories. He is going to be the exact opposite. He's going to be abysmal, some of the worst play in the league in others. So it's going to depend on your league settings. Okay. But anyway, let's go back and let's go and look for some other questions that we may have. Ismail coming in says, what should I trade Anthony Davis for? Okay, so with Anthony Davis, it's really going to come down to what does your team look like? If this is a team that is guaranteed to have a fantasy basketball playoff spot, then to be honest, I just kind of want to hold Anthony Davis. I really don't want to do anything just to lose out value for your fantasy basketball playoffs. Now, if you're a team that you go, you know what, I need to win the next 2 weeks. I need to win the next 2-3 weeks. That way I put myself in a nice position going into the playoffs. Then I think that's when you can make the argument to sell Anthony Davis. If we pull up right now the rest of season projections on #fantasybasketball, I mean, they have Anthony Davis as the 13th player in his above average, I don't know why I can never say this, value over replacement per game, but we also know with Anthony Davis, the games aren't going to be that high. Some other players in the same range. I mean, a player that I always look to trade for, regardless of if it's a points league, a category league, I think that he is a fantastic option, especially if you look at what his fantasy basketball playoffs are, is Bam Adebayo. So if you're on a team that you go, you know what, I need some production over the next few weeks to get me into the playoffs, then I would be willing to take Anthony Davis, send him over for Bam Adebayo, and I would even be willing to add a small piece to it if it got the deal done. Okay, so now let's go through and let's ask our let's find our next question here. Okay, so G Turno is asking us Kelly Ubre or Joe Harris to fill my last bench spot in an 8-team points league. Okay, so here, obviously, Joe Harris was an option that you could have looked at the beginning of the year, but now, I mean, in Brooklyn, consistently bringing in more talent with Blake Griffin, now LaMarcus Aldridge, and I know a lot of people want to go, Mason, Joe Harris is a wing player. Why are you bringing up these big men? How is that going to affect him? And Joe Harris was actually playing a little bit more of that big man position for Brooklyn at the very beginning of the season when they didn't have that type of production. It was really hard for that team to do anything else other than go extremely small. But now that they have some big man depth, they're not going to be forced to go as small with as many rotations. So what that's going to end up is that's going to end up making them go a little bit away from Joe Harris, where probably you're going to be expecting 28, 29 minutes played per game instead of what you were earlier. And if we go over to Kelly Oubre real quick, if we were looking at him, I know that this is a player that was very disappointing early on in the year, but he has improved. He did not get moved at the deadline. I think that Kelly Oubre Jr. is going to be the player that I want over Joe Harris, especially in an 8-team league, because in an 8-team league, if we're just talking about our last bench spot, then you're really only looking for upside and you don't care about anything else. Okay, so now let's go through, and Arian saying, should I trade away Kawhi Leonard for Zach LaVine? Okay, Zach LaVine hurt his ankle last night, so it's really going to come down to how significant is that LaVine ankle injury. It doesn't sound like it's going to be anything close to the LeBron. It sounds like it's something very small. But if you end up seeing Zach LaVine possibly miss 4 games from this, then that's going to push it over to Kawhi Leonard. As small as that sounds, I mean, both of these are elite players. We all know that Kawhi Leonard has a very bad fantasy basketball playoff schedule, which I have said you want to use that as a tiebreaker. You don't want to just use that for everything. So I know a lot of people are probably saying Zach LaVine here, but I think we'd be a little bit hesitant to make that move. Okay, so Colin coming in with another Zach LaVine question, asking us, what do you think about Zach LaVine's bad production as of late? Not too much reading into this. I mean, Nikola Vuce also came in and he commanded a little bit more of the offense than I was expecting right away, where he only played 28, 29 minutes, but he actually saw, I believe, 6 or 7 assists, where that's telling us, hey, Zach LaVine isn't going to have the ball in his hands as much as he had earlier on this season, because maybe they want to run a little bit of the offense through Vuce. And obviously that we should have known this by them trading away a young, good player, by them trading away 2 first-round picks to go along with this. So Zach LaVine, I will say that he should bounce back slightly, but I don't think we're going to get the elite numbers that we had at the very beginning of the year, because if you remember what Zach LaVine was giving you, I mean, it was unreal. He was straight up elite. Okay, so now let's go through and let's look up. Billy is asking us, he's not asking us anything, he's just saying Robert Covington is a category gem. Let me look up the recent stats that we have from Robert Covington. And yes, I mean, he has looked fantastic. The problem is, obviously, this team continues to add talent. This team continues to get a little bit more healthy. So you don't know how many minutes he is going to be playing going forward. But yeah, he is coming through. Only a turnover and a half, also providing you a decent amount of defensive statistic production. So Robert Covington, yeah, obviously you like him a little bit more in a category league because he's not coming through with that elite point usage. I mean, he's only averaging about 11 points a game, but still, I think with Covington, you can't expect this much longer. You can't, with Nurkic coming back, with this team adding Norman Powell, with this team getting CJ McCollum back, I think that you're going to end up finding that their minutes are going to be a little bit differently allocated. Okay, so let's go through and let's ask let's not ask questions. Let's find our next one. Zachary coming in with a donation. Thank you so much, my man. And your question here is, back to Fournier, points league. I can drop him for Rue or PJ Washington. LOL, sorry, asking Fournier again. No, man, it's completely fine. Do not worry about that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Okay, so real quick, PJ Washington has been a player that's been very good as of late. I think that but my initial thoughts are yes on PJ Washington. Let me look up the recent production that we've had from all of these players, as well as the rest of season projections, though, just because I don't want to go completely off the rails here where we just run away with PJ Washington without even thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at PJ Washington right now, and over the rest of the season, they're projecting him to have pretty bad numbers when it comes to his efficiency with his field goal and free throw percentage. But with the raw volume, with points, rebounds, and defensive stats as well, he should be a decent option in a points league. So I'm sorry to tell you to hold Fournier at the very beginning of the live stream, but I didn't understand that you were going to have PJ Washington available to you on waivers. I think that's actually something that we are going to look to move. Okay. So I really hope that this live stream helped y'all out, guys. I really hope this gave y'all a decent understanding of how I'm viewing some of these players. And let me know if y'all want me to do this in the future, or if y'all would rather me just make regular videos and then answer your questions as the premiere goes on. So please, please, please go down to the comment section. Let me know, because if y'all don't enjoy this, if y'all don't want this anymore, then I'm not going to do it. I'll just go back to what we were usually doing. But it's all going to be up to what you prefer. And yeah, also, if I was unable to get to your question, I'm very sorry. But like I said, in the video tomorrow, I will be going through more fantasy basketball questions that I am taking from the comment section of this video. So not just the live chat, go down to the comment section, leave your question there. I'm going to just be grabbing screenshots and then making a regular video as always. So thank you guys. Really hope y'all enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did, and have a great day.